Jessica, your theme park casual, and I'm here at Busch Gardens, Tampa today, courtesy of the Tampa Bay Rays and Kane's Furniture 10 Strikeout promotion. I got my Rays gear on to celebrate. Unfortunately, my day's not starting out that good. But let's see what we can make of it. Alright, so the ride isn't running, but in the meantime, since apparently Montu is also closed right now, pretty typical for not every ride to open till 11. Kind of sucks considering this ride's down. This has to be my favorite element on Cheetah Hunt. When you look at it, it does kind of look like the Busch Gardens logo, especially when you're actually going up the lift. I would love to see them do something with this aside from making it a permanent advertisement for Halloscream. This was once Akbar's Adventure Tours. Really cool simulator ride, kind of outdated now. Was outdated when they made it, really. Back there were the Clydesdale stables. Back when this was still owned by Anheuser-Busch, they had Clydesdales. So current status, Cheetah Hunt is closed for the day. Montu's still not open. I honestly don't even know where I'm going at this point. I'm just along for the ride. You know, they said this Lion and Hyena Ridge was going to be open in spring. I wouldn't call it spring anymore. Does anybody remember when there was free beer here? It's called the Hospitality House. Really, I think I only took advantage of it once. Allegedly, if you played your cards right, you could get several in a day. But still, it was a nice thing to have. Of course, now that Busch doesn't own the parks anymore, beer isn't the focus. Gwazi, how I do love thee. No, the exposure's not great. I am trying out a new camera today. Of course, I'm not playing games, and I absolutely refuse to pay for a locker when I have everything in Velcroed shut cargo pockets or a fanny pack. So, still not riding this one today. Now, the reason I don't actually go inside here is not what you think. If you listen to my at-home videos, you frequently hear Murphy in the background. I do have an aging Quaker parrot at home. And although one thing I don't think Busch skimps on is their veterinary care, I don't want to bring anything home to Murphy when he's almost 20 years old and his immune system is probably not what it used to be. But I do love these birds. I'm headed to Tigris right now. I've only done 2 coasters and a few walkthroughs. At this point, I might not particularly like this ride, but why not? It's here and it's open. I'm still going to rank it one of the worst coasters in the park. But I will say, back row, definitely the way to go. As a coaster enthusiast, I live for airtime, and that had some nice stuff. You get a lot of positive G's on the first swing launch, too. It was really, really surprisingly cool. Still not going to rank it above any of the 90s B&Ms or Cheetah Hunt. The construction walls where Scorpion and Stanley Falls used to be, actually making this place kind of hard to navigate, to be fair. When you add that the walkway in Edge of Africa is closed, it's pretty confusing. I feel like you can hear it before you can even see it. And you can even feel it. Obviously, being in the back of the park, Kumba does have a bad habit of not working with the operating hours. It's kind of sad because my first ever night ride on a roller coaster was on Kumba. I believe that was 1998, probably 99, middle school graduation. It's a rickety ride, desperately needs to be retracked. But it's still ranking in my top 10 coasters of all time. Flamingos are looking awfully bright today. Maybe just because it's such a gray day. Always a favorite no matter where they are. Phoenix Rising. When it opened, I actually couldn't get enough of it. It was pleasant, maybe not thrilling, but just fun to ride. And now it's almost rattling as bad as Kumba. I'm going to get on it and see how bad it is today. I will say the rattle is not as bad as I remembered it from last time. Is it still there? Yes. I have heard rumblings that Bollinger & Mabillard has changed the specs on the wheels, so pretty much all newer Bollinger & Mabillard coasters are going to have that rattle. It wasn't as bad. I thoroughly enjoy that ride. It's not thrilling. The word I like to describe it is pleasant. For all the time I was an annual pass holder, one thing I never actually did was ride the train. Matter of fact, I can't remember if I've ever ridden it or not. You know, I've already ridden everything I want to ride today, so this is the way to see the safari animals. I figure I'll hop on. about 2 o'clock. I've ridden everything I want to ride. Saw a lot of cool animals. Here's the thing you got to remember with this park. There's a lot to do and not a whole lot of crowds getting in your way. I would appreciate one day if they would make the Iron Gwazi lockers free, and I will ride it again, and I would hope that they get cheetah hunt back and going, because it's already been down way too much in the last year. But that's just my gripes, and I had a few operations issues this afternoon, but all in all, it's a fairly average day. I'll still go to this park just because it's 45 minutes from my house rather than 2 hours, but if I didn't get a free ticket, I probably wouldn't be here. That's just my opinions. If you want to come here, it's got some world-class coasters that you can't miss. And so take my opinions with a grain of salt. This is Jessica, your theme park casual, signing out.